Hi, I'm Bisma, and you're listening to The Other C Word, a podcast about all things cancer from a stage 4 breast cancer warrior. We cover health and wellness, mind, body, and soul. Plan to leave each episode with hopefully some new insights and inspiration. Let's get into this week's episode. Hey everyone, welcome back. Real quick, if you're watching on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, please hit the follow buttons. That way you won't miss any episodes. And also, please share this podcast with anyone else you know going through cancer and their family or loved ones as well. Thanks, guys. All right, it's my favorite time of the year. I'm wearing a glittery red dress today because I can, and I love dressing up for the holidays and being festive. So the holidays are here, and for many of us, that means family, food, fun. But when you're living with cancer, the season can feel like a lot to juggle. You want to be a part of the celebrations, but you also might not be feeling physically well or emotionally overwhelmed or sad about your health. The holidays can be filled with so much excitement, but they also come with their own set of challenges, especially when you're navigating cancer, treatment, recovery, all of that. So whether it's social events, food-related stress, managing family expectations, or the financial strain that often comes with this time of the year, the holidays can become a bit of a minefield to navigate. So today, I'm going to share some tips and ideas for navigating the holidays and special events so that you can enjoy them as much as possible and enjoy them on your own terms. So whether you're feeling energetic or in need of a bit more rest. We'll dive into setting boundaries, dealing with family expectations, how to manage dressing for the holidays, and managing holiday finances as well without breaking the bank. So let's dive into it. All right, the first thing I want to talk about is holiday expectations. Holidays can be tough when you're living with cancer, to say the least. They can feel like the world is trying to force joy on you when you're going through a really rough time. And we all know that cancer doesn't pause for the holidays. Some days it's hard enough just getting out of bed, let alone pretending to feel festive and energetic. And you know what? That's okay. You don't owe anyone a perfect holiday this year. You don't owe anyone 4 smiles or a cheerful, jolly attitude. What you do owe yourself, though, is honesty with yourself. So if that means spending the day in your PJs, watching your favorite shows instead of attending a party, that's totally fine. If it means saying no to hosting or skipping a family get-together altogether, that's okay too. Holidays are about what you need, not the Instagram version, not what others expect. So this year, let's release the pressure on ourselves. Let's stop feeling like we have to meet some sort of impossible standard of holiday cheer and how to celebrate. Let's honor our own energy, our bodies, and our heart. That's how you can truly show up this season. Okay, that takes me into the next point, which is the importance of saying no during the holidays. I know it sounds like a hard thing to do, especially when the holidays are all about connection and getting together. But if you're living with cancer, the reality is you have to listen to your body. And sometimes that means declining invitations or saying no to things that normally you would have said yes to in the past. The truth is that this is one of the hardest lessons that I've actually had to learn. It feels really uncomfortable at first. There's that voice in your head that says, but I don't want to disappoint anyone, or they're going to think I don't care, or I actually don't want to miss out on that. I love going out. I love going to parties. But here's the thing. Saying no isn't selfish. It's self-care. It's respecting yourself. It's a way to protect your energy so that you can be your best self in the moments that you're really able to engage with and be present for. Your health is not negotiable this year. The people who truly love you will understand. And if they don't, that's their work to do, not yours. Boundaries are an act of self-care, and setting them is not selfish. So maybe it's a holiday dinner, maybe it's a family party, maybe it's a work event that you know is going to leave you drained. Instead of pushing yourself to go and risking burnout, it's perfectly fine to say, hey, I'm not up for this tonight. I'd love to catch up soon. I don't think you need to over-explain or even make excuses. People know that you're going through cancer and that you're sick. So just be honest with yourself and others about what you can handle. And I wouldn't feel guilty about putting your health first. It's about finding balance and doing what works for you. So I think one way you can approach it is practice saying no with clarity and without guilt. Instead of agreeing to everything, you can say something like, hey, I'm really looking forward to seeing you, but I'll only be able to stay for a little while. I need a lot more rest these days. So it's about setting expectations early and making sure that your boundaries are clear. When you do this, it helps alleviate stress because you're not left scrambling at the last minute, trying to figure out what to do. Can I go? Can I not go? Trust me, the more you practice this, the easier it gets. Sometimes I feel so empowered saying no that I start saying no to everything. Just kidding. But saying no doesn't make you a bad person. It means you're looking after yourself, and that's the best way to show up for those you care about. And I think related to that, I want to touch a little bit on needing to or wanting to be alone this holiday. Here's something you might not hear enough. If you don't want to see anyone this holiday season, that's okay. Living with cancer is exhausting, not just physically, but emotionally. Some days, the thought of putting on a brave face, making small talk, or navigating people's well-meaning but sometimes overwhelming or ignorant questions is just too much. And that's completely valid. You're allowed to prioritize your needs. You're allowed to say no to holiday gatherings, holiday parties, focus on your rest, your healing, and your mental health. You're allowed to spend the holidays however feels best for you, even if that means spending them alone or only with a few people who you feel safe and comfortable with. And if anyone questions you, remind yourself that you don't owe anyone an explanation. You can also just tell them to F off. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. Your energy is precious, and this holiday season, it's okay to protect it in whatever way you need to. All right, the next challenge that often comes up during the holidays is dealing with family expectations. Family gatherings can be a really special thing, but they also can bring about a lot of stress, especially when there's pressure to be a part of everything or to kind of just meet these unspoken expectations. It's important to recognize that the holidays don't have to be about doing everything for everyone. Your experience of the holidays should reflect your own needs at this time. You have to communicate with your family early on about what you're able to do and what you're not. Setting boundaries is so important for maintaining your mental and physical well-being. For example, if there's a big holiday dinner, but you know you're not able to stay for hours on end, just let your family know in advance. A simple text like, hey, so excited to come to dinner, but I'm going to leave by 8:30, 9 p.m. because I have to go rest. Also, just a gentle reminder when it comes to sensitive topics like your treatment, what you're getting done, how often, what your decisions are related to surgeries, those are all sensitive topics, and you get to decide what you want to talk about and when you want to talk about it. If you're not ready to discuss your cancer treatment or diagnosis or plan, it's okay to say, sorry, I don't want to get into this right now. So happy to be here with all of you guys. You don't owe an explanation of everything you're doing to everyone. I think another way to navigate family expectations is by setting realistic limits on your time. So if you're hosting an event, you can communicate your needs upfront. You could say something like, hey, I'd love to spend the evening with everyone, but around like 8:30, I'm going to go take a little break and lay down, but you guys are welcome to stay, hang out, have fun. That way, people won't be surprised when you step away, and it gives you permission to take care of yourself. Remember, people understand your situation more than you think, and they want you to be happy and comfortable. And by setting these boundaries, communicating them, you help create this environment that feels safer and more manageable for everyone. All right, let's talk a little bit about holiday traditions. If old traditions don't fit your needs this year, it's totally fine to create new ones. In fact, the holidays are such a good time to start fresh. Just because things were done a certain way last year, the year before, doesn't mean that you have to follow the same path this year. Cancer gives us this opportunity to rethink how we do things, how we want to spend our time, how we want to celebrate. So maybe normally you host this like big dinner or you go to a bunch of different gatherings at people's houses. But this year, you're just not feeling up for doing that. That's totally okay. Maybe consider starting a new tradition that's more aligned with your current situation. So maybe it's a quiet evening at home with just a few close friends, or a movie night at home with your favorite takeout, snacks, whatever it is. Make it something that brings you peace, not stress. Also, I came up with this idea that I've done in the past and I wanted to do this year with my husband. So it's this thing called a gratitude circle. So every night leading up to Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve, we're going to write down one thing that we're grateful for, something simple, something meaningful. And then on Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve, we're going to read all those aloud. It's a simple, meaningful way to feel connected without like this huge, elaborate plan, party, etc. New traditions don't have to be grand. They just have to be meaningful to you. So maybe that's something that you want to consider doing too. Okay, let's talk a little bit about friend hangouts. If you have different groups of friends that you usually see separately during the holidays, why don't you try combining them into one hangout this year? So this could be a really great way to like streamline things for yourself and make it easier on yourself, especially if you're trying to avoid juggling multiple events. So instead of having one night out with one group of friends and another gathering with a different group, you can try to just combine them. So maybe a friend is hosting a party. I would just text and ask, hey, is it okay if I invite a few other friends from this other group? I was planning to meet up with them another night, but it would make it so much easier for me to do it all in one go. Combining friend groups can make the social side of the holidays feel less overwhelming. You're not having to stretch yourself and attend multiple parties or hangouts. And I think most of the time people are more than happy to accommodate, especially if they know that it's going to help you, they'll be happy to do it. Also, it can bring your friends together, which is really nice as well, because they're all supporting you separately. And it would be nice for them to also like create this support system within themselves. All right, let's talk a little bit about fashion, beauty, clothes. One of my favorite topics. So the holidays are a great time to feel festive, but that can be tricky when you're navigating changes to your body due to your cancer treatments. So maybe you've lost hair, it's thinned out. Maybe you're not sure if you should wear a wig, go without. Maybe you want to wear a scarf, a hat. Maybe you've gained weight from your treatments and you're uncertain about what to wear or how you're looking and just how you're feeling overall. All of these changes can have a big emotional impact, especially when you're used to feeling a certain way about your body or used to seeing yourself a certain way. So, first of all, I want to remind you that there's no right or wrong way to handle this. Related to hair, if you feel more comfortable in a wig, wear it. If you prefer going without and showing off your bald head, that's great too. No matter what, your choice is valid. And it's about how you feel and what makes you the most comfortable. So if you want to throw on a hat, a scarf, a wig, whatever it is, you decide and go with that. All right, when it comes to clothing, if you're feeling insecure about your weight, which is, natural, I think, the holidays don't have to be about squeezing into tight clothes that maybe used to fit before but currently aren't fitting. You don't have to dress up for anyone other than yourself. Go for comfort this year. Wear something that makes you feel good. So it could be a cozy, oversized sweater. It could be a flowy dress. It could even be leggings and a cute sweatshirt. Focus on whatever feels right for you. And don't worry about what other people are wearing, what they're going to think. Don't feel pressured. Show up in whatever you're comfortable with because that's how you're going to exude the most confidence and comfortability. No one that really cares about you is going to judge you for it. So, your body, your style, your choice. Okay, let's talk a little bit about self-care during the holidays. Self-care isn't just about bubble baths or face masks. It's about listening to your body and resting when you need to. So there's a huge amount of pressure for everyone, sick or not, to do it all during the holidays. But an important lesson that cancer has taught me is that it's okay to slow down. And even if everyone around you feels like they're speeding up, it's okay to go at your own speed. And it's not just about being physically drained. Cancer treatment takes such a huge mental and emotional toll on all of us. And so giving yourself permission to rest, take naps, say no to things, it's not only just okay, it's necessary for your health. A good rule of thumb is at least like once or twice a day, check in with yourself, check in with your body. Ask yourself, am I feeling tired? Do I need to take a break? Do I need to step away and go to my room for a little bit? If you need to step away from a busy family hangout, that's totally fine. One way that I manage this in my own time is that I just schedule downtime into my day. So if I have an event that I have to go to in the afternoon, I'm going to sleep in that morning. I'm not going to do anything until I get to the event, and I'm not going to plan anything that evening. I feel like where I am right now, I can maybe do one social thing in a day, and then maybe the next day I need to do zero, and that's totally fine. I can't be doing 3 things a day that I used to do before. All right, and then the last thing I wanted to touch base on is holiday finances. The holidays, we all know, can be really expensive. And when you're going through cancer treatment, it's just not realistic to spend the same way that you did before. If you're not working right now, or if you're working part-time or on a partial salary, it's really important to give yourself permission to not break the bank on gifts and parties. You're already spending a lot on medical expenses, and your health is a top priority, and your finances should be reserved for that first. So I think the truth of the matter is that your loved ones, your family, your friends, they're going to understand that you can't afford to go all out with presents this year. The holidays are not just about expensive gifts or extravagant spending. It's about love. It's about connection, being together. So be easy on yourself. Think of simple, meaningful gifts, something that comes from the heart, not from a shopping list that you created. A thoughtful card with a note, a homemade treat or craft, or even offering your time and attention can be just as meaningful, if not more, than any store-bought gift could be. Plus, the people who love you, they're going to appreciate the thoughtfulness far more than any material item. You're already paying for so much for your health, and you don't have to feel guilty about managing your finances during the holidays. And if you're listening in and if you're supporting someone with cancer, I want you to know this. We don't need grand gestures. We don't need expensive gifts or elaborate plans. What we need is your presence, not your presence. A text that says, "Hey, I'm thinking of you." A hug that you can feel says, "I'm here." A simple, "How can I help?" That's a gift that matters the most to us because at the end of the day, it's not about things. It's about love. And it's the love we give, the love we receive, the love we choose to focus on when life feels really hard. All right. And I think with that, we'll wrap up today's episode. I hope these tips helped you feel more prepared and supported and empowered to navigate the holidays in a way that feels right for you. So whether it's setting boundaries, new traditions, simply being present, remember that it's all about what works for you, your body, your mind, your spirit. And with that, I want to wish everyone a really happy holiday season. It's been a crazy, tough year for a lot of us. And as we move into the holiday season, please just remember to be kind to yourself, love your body. It's going through a lot right now, and you're doing the best you can. You deserve to take care of yourself and enjoy the moments that bring you joy. And don't forget, send this podcast to someone who's going through their own cancer journey. And please share with your family and friends so that they can better understand you. Also, I'm totally loving connecting with so many of you on Instagram. So please continue to reach out there, and I wish you guys all the best. Thanks for listening to The Other C Word, hosted by Bismolology. New episodes drop Mondays. Connect with me on socials at Bismolology, and let's all learn, grow, and inspire each other.